You've heard of chicken pizza, but this is chicken crust pizza. Hello everyone, welcome back to Pop Keto. Come join me in the kitchen. Today's recipe, we are making a margarita pizza, but we are going to use a chicken base. That's right, a chicken base. Now we've tried fathead dough and we've put a video up about using fathead dough as a base. In our own time, we've tried a few recipes. We've tried a cauliflower base, which is fine. I don't mind it, but the chicken base is where it's at. This is so good. Before we get into it, just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's already subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, please do, just click the subscribe button. And don't forget to click that like button. Hey, you could even do it now to get it out of the way. All right, so let's get into it. First thing, I've got the oven preheating. I've got that set to gas mark 5, which is about 190 degrees. Now, earlier today, I have pre-cooked some chicken that we're going to use for this recipe. So I took 2 chicken breasts, it's about 400 grams worth, covered in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Pop that in the oven for about 40 minutes. So I've already got the chicken. I've used breasts here. Feel free to use thigh fillets. It's just what we had around. About 400 grams that we cooked and now we've let cool. The reason we've cooled it is because we're going to shred it. Now I've got clean hands, just washed them. So I'm happy to do this with your hands. If you want to use forks, however you want to shred your chicken, you're welcome to. I'm just going to chunk this up into fat slices like so. Pop them in my bowl and then just get in there. I prefer to do this as thinly shredded as I can get it, but once you've had a go at the recipe, you'll sort of get a feel for where your desired amount of shred is. Now, instead of cooking the chicken yourself, you could always choose to use a barbecue chicken or a rotisserie chicken from your supermarket. Just need to be careful, a lot of them have sugar in them. So have a look at the supermarket's website to see the ingredients, because often they don't have it in store. That's great, I'm just gonna wash my hands one sec. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Great, so there's our shredded chicken. Now, to this we're going to add half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. We'll give that a quick stir around. Chicken and cheese, it's a good place to start, isn't it? And then next, we're going to crack 2 eggs into this. And then we just stir that in. Okay, having mixed all the ingredients together, next we're going to form our pizza base. And to do that, I've got a lined paper tray that we're just going to turn this out onto. And then just using a spatula, we're going to press it down and form our pizza shape. Now you want it a decent thickness, so I'll probably go about 1 to 1.5 centimeters thick. Happy with that, so I'm going to pop this in the oven. Now that only needs to go in for about 15 to 20 minutes. While that's in there, we're going to prepare the ingredients for the topping. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes, we're going to get it out. Ooh, look at that. Yum-o. Now I can tell you already, as you hear the crinkling from the paper, the smell of the Parmesan is amazing. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool for a bit before we put the toppings on, probably about 5-10 minutes. So it's just going to really allow that to cool down a bit and firm up. Okay, that's nice and cool now. So we are going to add our toppings. Now onto pizza, we have to have a tomato base. Now when you're using a tomato based sauce, you do need to be mindful of the amount of carbs that are in it. Often they've got sugar added into it as well. So what we're using is just some passata, thinner sauce. It'll go further and it'll reduce a little bit on top of the pizza while it's in the oven. It has less carbs than the equivalent of tomato paste or puree. And there's already a little bit of garlic flavoring baked into the pizza base, so there's going to be a flavor there. All right, so we start off with 1 tablespoon of this, and I think it might become 2 tablespoons. Two and a half tablespoons, let's call it. 2.5 tablespoons of passata. Now we are going to add a sprinkle of oregano to that. And now some lovely fresh mozzarella. You can see that there. And we're just going to break it into little bits and spread it around on the pizza. Now we're also going to add a little bit more of the grated Parmesan. Now this is fresh grated Parmesan from the fridge section. This is not the green stuff that you get where you buy the pasta sauces. This is the fresh stuff. And that's about 1/2 tablespoon of that. All right, so we are going to put this back into the oven now for about 10-15 minutes. And when that comes out, we're going to finish it off just with a little bit of fresh basil, and it's going to be amazing. And 15 minutes later, oh, look at that. How good does that look? And we said we're going to add a little bit of fresh basil at the end here. This is from the garden. I ran out of the big leaves, but it will still taste amazing. Look at that. All right, so let's cut it up and have a slice. Grab this here. Bit hot, we're gonna have to let it cool just for a little bit. Just gonna grab a plate. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Got the lovely cheese, the basil, the sauce, everything. It's amazing. All right, here we go. Oh man, you've got to try this. If you haven't done this already, you've got to try this. So that's what the slice looks like. Once you've taken a few bites out of it, that is really good. So the base, because that's really the focus of this video, the base is actually really quite tasty even on its own. Really good. Maybe I could put a little bit more passata on the pizza, but the cheese is great and the fresh basil is mwah. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Please have a go at making this, and if you do, make sure you put it up on the gram and you tag us, popketo_. If you know someone who might be interested in this video, please feel free to share it. All right, and until next week, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.